as a nursing student, oh my god, like I'm in my 4th semester now and we're doing med-surg 2. So basically we use this book by Iggy, and it is, I'm not saying it's the best book. It has so much information in it, like it is just so hard to focus on what really to study. But what I have learned is that, let's say I'm doing a test on, I'm going to do a chapter that I'm familiar with, which is like chapter 22, chapter 23 thereabout, because I just read this the other day. So let's do chapter 20, which is on the connective tissue diseases. And every chapter starts off with the pathophysiology. Now for me, what I do is I read it, but I never try to memorize it. I read it just to understand it, and if I don't, then I go to YouTube and type in animations, and then just watch an animation on it. So yeah, then after reading the patho, now you go into the assessment, the history. Now you never ever, hardly ever get a test question on these right here, but I feel like it's just stuff that maybe they think is important to know. Psychosocial, you hardly ever get it because it's common sense, I think, so you could figure it out. Imaging, no. So what I feel like you should always focus on in this book is just like the drug, everything in this yellow box right here, super important. This is where a lot of times they take the test questions from. Like, this is stuff that you need to know. These yellow boxes, don't forget them, and these green boxes as well. So with this book, if you're studying from med-surg nursing by Iggy, just make sure that you read these boxes. Like, these are it. Like, this is it, these boxes. And do these little challenge questions that they give to you. Always do them. Where are they? Do the boxes and make sure you do these little questions right here. I'm trying to focus, but make sure you do these questions. Like, they are very helpful. They might seem easy, but it really just puts it together. So that's basically how I would tell you to use this book. Just basically do the boxes, read the other parts, and most of the time the first 2 pages you could always skip, and the last 2 pages, like, if you don't have time, you don't even have to read it that much, because the evaluations, like, blah, like, I could figure it out. So if you don't have time, don't. But the interventions is a must. Like, when you see that heading, interventions, read it, and the boxes, read it. And then after you're done reading, this is when you go and you take this book. Hold on, I'm coming right back to tell you the book. This is when you're gonna take, I'm coming, guys, I'm coming. This is when you have to take this book. NCLEX RN Q&A, incredibly easy. And this is when you take this book, and let's say you're doing connective and you know it's immune, you go to your table of contents, and hold on, you go to your table of contents right here, and then you say, oh, am I doing cardio, am I doing heme? Okay, we're doing heme. Go to page 71. Is it 71? And then here we go, heme. Fold this part, because the way this book is set up, questions, answers. Fold this part. First question, let's read. And I'm just giving you a sample of the way the questions are. So, for an adult client to be diagnosed with AIDS, which condition must be present? 1. Infection with HIV, TB, and cytomegalovirus. 2. Infection with HIV, an alternate lifestyle, and a T cell count above 200 cells per, what's that, microliters? Yeah. Or 3, infection with HIV, CD4 count 200 cells, and T cell count above 400 cells. And then 4, infection with HIV, a history of acute HIV infection, and a CD4 cell count of 200 cells. And this is when you read the question, and it might seem like, okay, it's a straightforward question, but let me tell you, these, if you get it, you choose your answer, you go over here and you read your rationales, and the rationales is what puts it all together. Like, let me tell you, these rationales are heaven. Like, they're so simple. So like for this one, the answer was 4. Infection with the HIV, a history of acute HIV infection, and a CD4 cell count below 200. And the rationale is 3 criteria must be met for an adult client to be diagnosed with AIDS. He must be HIV positive, have a CD4 T cell count below 200, and have one or more specific conditions that include acute infection with HIV. Because HIV attaches to the CD4 receptor sites of the T cell, a T cell value alone is incorrect. So the rationales are just amazing. So this is what I did for my last test, and I passed. So this is what I'll be doing for the other tests coming forward. And I also use Saunders, which I'll post another video on that pretty soon, on the Saunders book itself. But let me tell you, if you do not have this book right here, you need to get it. You need to get it ASAP. Like, this is it. They have different editions. I think they have newer editions, and this book is pretty cheap. And I was not sponsored by them, but the thing is, I've been doing, I did med-surg last semester, and I did so horribly. Like, I went through the whole semester and I did not understand one thing. I tried using Lipicot, this other book, and I did not like it. And I feel like this book is what kind of put it together. I also use this online site as well, and I'm gonna do another video on that. But yeah, I haven't had any subscribers yet, so I'm still waiting on somebody to subscribe. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll do more for you guys, maybe more detailed, and maybe get a better camera and all that good stuff. But for right now, I'm just trying to help whoever is struggling in med-surg like I was. Okay, so thank you for watching if you watched it to the end, and good luck in your nursing journey. Bye.